Hey everybody, this is Grace, and pardon the way I'm doing my videos. I have it set up where I can do videos on camera, but I was going to today. Got ready for it and all, and I have a dog that it's an elder dog. It's pretty old, and it's breathing too hard, panting. It's been doing that, but anyway, I'll move on. We're taking care of it, but in this video, I want to talk about people who are kind of narcissistic. What I see in my life, and I've said this many times on my videos, is you often see a blend between narcissistic behaviors and histrionic behaviors, and some of them were actually diagnosed as borderline. People I've known in my lifetime, and what they do, how they see themselves as that their greatness, that everybody should be able to notice their greatness. They believe that they are these great people, great speakers, great whatever it is, and some of them may be good at speaking. I'm going to focus on speaking. Live streams, actually, live stream videos. It doesn't have to be just on YouTube. It can be on any social media that allows it, and anywhere that allows it. Okay, and these days I think some people might see this online, through Zoom, when they're having Zoom meetings for work. So anywhere that you could imagine that it could happen. I'm going to talk about that. The people who are kind of narcissistic, histrionic, like I say, I see a blend. Some of them are just also sadistic. I call that I've coined it as the dramatic dark triad. Now there's a dark triad that's been around for a while that people talk about, but this one to me is the dramatic. It's a narcissistic, histrionic, sadistic blend. They just get a kick out of what they do, harming people in some ways, or people being harmed. But anyway, so let me get to that. Okay, now just as I just said, these are some people who do live streams or do Zoom, and like on Zoom, say you're at work, they're the ones who are doing the talking the most, and they expect everybody to recognize their greatness, how great their ideas are, and to recognize their authority, even if they don't have it, either one. And but some people are just doing live streams, like instead of doing, say, YouTube videos or Facebook videos, they do them as live streams, and that way they don't have to edit and everything. It's a live stream, and it's happening as they're recording it. Later on, they can turn into videos. Now me, I have done them with some. I did some with a woman when I first started on YouTube. Like within the first year, I think we did them together. It was very different in how to do them than now, I believe. And I really don't care for them that much at all. I'm just not, I don't care for them. I'm looking at some notes I wrote about it. To me, I'm not saying this is 100% across the board, but I do think it's more of the histrionic that enjoys it, the theatrical side of them that would enjoy it. Just getting the attention, and they often don't care if there's some kind of negative attention, because as long as they're getting attention, that's what they want, is attention. And negative, positive, doesn't matter. And they would be better able to handle, like, either one, because they just want the attention. The histrionic type. Now, this is not a one-size-fits-all, and it's not a diagnosis. It's just behaviors that I have seen in my life, and I could be wrong. Anyway, now me, I couldn't do it because I'm not that much on wanting attention. I don't mind, I didn't mind, most of the time I wasn't on camera as it was, when I was doing them. Just wasn't on the camera. I did it without that. But it just isn't my thing. So, and also I had made some notes about this. I also don't like being in, like, whenever people do these live streams, often they have live chat where people can chat, through text. and the old-fashioned kind. And I don't care to do that either, like if it's somebody else doing a video, because to me it's an odd feeling. It feels like you're praising that person, or let me see, like being praising them, or like you really look up to them and all that, like they are what they want people to see them as. Some people are great speakers and all that, but they want that attention so bad, and doing that seems like giving it to them. Okay, I've been in live streams, and I've yet to be in one that I can recall right now where the person that was doing it wasn't looking for money. Okay, some way, somehow. So there may be one or two, but generally no. So okay, you're gonna have to pardon me for being all over the place. The dog I mentioned kept me up most of the night. I probably had a good solid maybe 2-3 hours sleep last night because of it, and that's been kind of regular lately. So anyway, now my view is that they also love the drama. And when they have the live chat, they can have trolls come in, and people come trolls, haters, bashers, whatever, and they come in and they just say all kinds of bad things about the person, and it creates a drama. They love that. But the person who's doing that for money, of course they love that. I shouldn't say of course, but yeah, many of them do, because it draws more people in, and that's more money for them somehow. Whatever way they're getting money, it's more money. And anyway, okay, I'm trying to make sense of my notes here. But yeah, trolls love this. They get to take out all their anger out on somebody. But also the person doing the videos, if they're the kind that has that narcissistic histrionic blend, they are enjoying it. Besides getting the money, they also like, because then here they are, and these trolls are coming at them, typing stuff in the live chat at them, and the troll can't actually speak, voice it, but the person making the video, boy, they will bash them. They will bash the trolls and act as though that they are so superior when they do it, and that the trolls are inferior. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes in these live chats, I've noticed a lot of people who, not a lot, the ones I've seen that do these live chats, for money and stuff like that, some of them are really there putting out things like misinformation, disinformation. They're putting out things that are totally wrong, and scientifically totally wrong. They are not facts. They're stating them as though they're facts, but they're not. And you can actually find facts on them. You see what I'm saying? And they're giving the total opposite, and they're giving an opinion in a way like a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theories, the way they want to see it, and they know that it's going to cause drama, and it does. So then they call the people who are telling them you're wrong, that is not true. They call them trolls. Okay, haters, bashers. They'll call them that, even though the person making the video is putting out misinformation. Okay, and they like I said, sometimes they do it on purpose to cause that, to draw in more people, which draws in more money. And their lines are often, the person actually making the videos are often the same kind of lines. They like I said, they want to be seen for their greatness. Now, some of them aren't doing it on purpose. Some of them actually believe that in what they say, even though it's totally wrong, and they've heard right, but they'll twist it and spin it and make, often it's something they copied from some other, stole from some other creator or a news network even, and they're just repeating it, regurgitating, a bunch of BS. And they'll speak as though they're a voice of authority because they've watched some news channel, and the news channel told them to think that way. Yeah, this kind of thing. And like I said, they'll call the trolls, anybody tell them that's not true, the haters and the bashers and all that. And then they'll continue to attack the trolls, the ones they call trolls, the ones who actually have the correct information, are trying to tell you tell them to stop putting out that misinformation. So they'll attack them personally. The person making the video will attack the trolls by saying things like, oh, they must have dull, boring lives, and they have to go around bashing people like this, or they call them stuff like old fogies that, whatever way they can, they will attack them, and their purpose is to try to look so superior, like they're truly a voice of authority, and that nobody should be able to dare to attack them, verbally, because that's how they see it, as an attack, instead of just somebody saying, no, that's incorrect. It's not right. That is not factual. No. No, they're not going to see that, because nobody should question their authority, their greatness. Okay, forgive me, I'm also suffering from allergies, so yeah, what a time, huh? Pandemic, the riots going on, the protests, and wow. Anyway, that's for another video. But they also do things like they will outright state it to all the people watching their live stream. They'll state this toward the ones they call the trolls, that if they cannot recognize, these ones they call trolls, haters, and all that, if they cannot recognize the person who's making the video, they cannot recognize their greatness, then just goes to prove, just goes to show, proof that something is wrong with the troll. Because they don't recognize it. They will actually make that statement. Okay? Yeah, the person making the video will actually make that statement to someone who's trying to say, no, that's not true. Okay? That they cannot recognize their greatness, how smart they are, how, then there's something wrong with you, the troll. Because they believe it. Some of them do actually believe in their greatness, and that only they know this, and that they somehow came up with it, yet they'll then say they did their research, and yeah. Okay, well, I've mentioned this kind of thing too many times in videos before, but it is a lather, rinse, repeat kind of thing, and when you see it so often, some people would become desensitized to it. They say, okay, or just don't even bother to look and see, but sometimes they're recommended, they'll show up, or you're on a group and they'll show up, you can block them, whatever. And I don't think you can block them to where you don't see them, can you? I don't know. But yeah, and you hear such nonsense come out of their mouth, and that's the thing, they're not going to allow anybody to tell them that they're wrong. That to me is more like the narcissistic kind of behavior. Some of that's, like I said, narcissistic, some of it's histrionic to me. And they're not going to let anybody tell them they're wrong, and they don't care if people think they're wrong. They don't care if people think they're right. As long as they're getting what they want from it. Like, it's often money and attention. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention this again. I've seen it come up again. It's kind of like, some people call these things a time for when they can get a cash grab. That's what some people call it, cash grab. And that they find situations that they think are good times to start pulling these particular games, and it's usually so many of them I've seen before, and other ones use it later on, or they do use the same one later on, this kind of thing. But a big part of it is to put out their misinformation so somebody will have an argument. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, pardon me, Adam came out with a dog, and so there's probably going to be some mayhem. It's the puppy I nicknamed Mayhem. Anyway, there's probably going to be something, so I'll wrap it up. I'll talk to you on another video.